Morning. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are today in the world. I happen to be near Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And the title of this video is Narcissistic Ground Control. Some of you may have a lot of experience and knowledge behind this. Thank you, that's awesome. Step in, feel free to meet each other and say hello. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And if I see your comment, I may or may not answer you. So narcissistic ground control, how do you know if you are in the presence of a narcissist? Okay, so what I want you to tell, so we can all be on the same level, same page. In the short video that I said, that advertised you to come here, I said we all, experience it, right, at some level, right? So as an adult, now I'm going to tell you how we can get on the same playing field. When we look at the stories of life that we are exposed to, the number one comes up is, the news, right? Storytelling, right? Often narcissistic qualities are bred into society. And the one thing that the way it's done that, there's a lot of good, of course, comes in stories, but there's a lot of narcissistic qualities that come out and that we are all learned. We learn these things through storytelling. So you might say, well, why would I, what do you mean? So, you wake up in the morning, you have your coffee. Some of you do this. I don't. I avoid the news and newspapers like the plague just because, right? I'm just not interested. Being aware is one thing, and being very particular is another, right? The classic narcissist at a global level begins with storytelling, right? What story isn't fun and interesting and intriguing to get sucked into, right? Just like, you turn on the news and they've got all these stories, right? How much truth is it? I don't know, right? Right? There's, the classic narcissist, there's always, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Happy, thanks.
Great.
There's always an element of truth in the narcissistic story, right? And so the focus of this video is to give you tools, right? I don't have a lot of time, so we're going to continue this conversation, but I just want to give you some tools. If you're dealing with a narcissistic, you may not even know, because some people really don't know. I had no idea what this was many years ago. And so for you people who have no idea why you're feeling anxious you're on eggshells, you're feeling confused, maybe around a particular group of people or a person or at work, right? So wherever you are, there's something that is confusing about the relationship. There is an energy that you're feeling that something just doesn't feel right, okay? So as we slowly become conscious and aware that the narcissist, who they are and what they are doing, because they're pretty sneaky, right? They're pretty sneaky. And charismatic, right? Around a group of people. But, when if you're talking about an individual behind closed doors, if any of you, God forbid, you've experienced any kind of horrific abuse, you know the patterns, right? And the confusion that happens in that dynamic, okay? So I'm going to tell you right now that, if you are feeling confused, if you're feeling, there's a dynamic that isn't just getting your needs met, that feels safe. And your body will tell you, honey. Your body will tell you. Sometimes the body lies, but there's always an element of truth within that feeling, okay? So before I go any further, we're going to talk about this more as we go along, not in this video. But now, some of the symptoms, what to look for. Is it confusing? Am I confused? Is there there's congruency? Then there's not congruency. right? There's something that switches. There's confusion. There's always a big element within a narcissistic attack, okay? So as promised, the tool to ground yourself in that moment, right? Whether you turn on the news and you're just absolutely heartbroken because whatever, you know, fucking story comes on, you know, that might be true, half fucking true, right? Excuse me. I'm not even sorry that I'm swearing, right? But it's emotional. It's an emotional attack. It gets you in. It gets you sucked in, okay? So as you hear my words, as you hear the sound of my voice, I need you to remember that when you hear those stories, when you're in around a person or individuals that are clearly in your mind operating on a level of confusion and me first and got to be center of attention and stuff like that, because that's a very common thing. They must be center of attention. Once somebody else or a new member in the group gets some attention, oh, ruffles, ruffles get feathers get ruffled, right? So you'll notice the dynamic when watching a group of people. Interesting. That one stepped up. That one steps up and talks all the time. They never shut the fuck up. They always seem to be real good, right? Real charismatic. But then all of a sudden another, let's talk about the same sex. Another same sex steps up, and they say something. Oh, but that person never says anything, right? Never says anything. But all of a sudden you notice the dynamic kind of change, right? You can watch them. There's kind of what you call, for lack of better words, a pissing contest, right? You can watch them. So you can see it in groups. You can see it on whatever, in stories. What I need you to do, so this is Narcissism 101, just a basic tool, is to focus on your breath, okay? One thing that they are always going to try to do, at some level, the narcissist will be attacking your emotion. They are centering on the fact that you, and relying on the fact that whatever they do is going to make you come unfucking hinged, right? Remember, that's their number one goal, to fuck you up, okay? They're going to attack your emotion. So because you know this and you've experienced it, the number one thing to do is focus on your breath. Okay, this is the number one tool. There's lots, and we'll get into this as we go along. Good morning. Aww. They are very skilled. If someone is attacking you and you're now noticing, become aware, like, this just doesn't feel right. Some kind of dynamic, whenever this human being or group of people are around, I'm noticing and feeling this dynamic that just doesn't feel right. Sometimes I just can't pinpoint it, right? So focusing on your breath, sweetie, okay? I want you to remember that you are the pilot in any moment, because these narcissists, right, who are unhealed, these are childhood wounds that are being now acted out as adults because they did not get their needs met. Do I think that you should put up with that bullshit? No. It's not your fucking job to heal the narcissist. It's not your fucking job to even pay any attention to them, okay? Because that's what they want, sweetie. It's not your job. We got some people coming up here. So yeah, it's not your job to hi. It's not your job to heal the narcissist, because you can't. It's not your job, right? It's not your job. That's an inside job. So you always have your inside job continuously, protecting yourself from this dynamic that you are viewing and experiencing with this other human being, a wounded fucking child, okay, in an adult body, okay? It's a wounded child acting out and, trying to gain control, because this is what they want. They want to control, okay? And once they cannot control, they make a mess. They lie, right? Because they're desperately trying to gain control. Does this sound familiar to you? Add a question sticker. Interesting. Add a question sticker. Okay, it says oh, I guess I can't try it anymore. So just like that sticker that just came up, right? A narcissist is going to come right up, right when you're not even expecting it, and all of a sudden do something different, and they're going to fucking try to annihilate you, okay? So you got to be in your game. Every martial artist knows the power and consequences of not being prepared, right? So in any moment, you're going to focus on your breath, right? What happens if you stop breathing in any moment, right? What happens when you stop breathing when you're sleeping? What happens when you stop breathing when you're under a narcissistic attack, right? So your breath is your lifeline. Okay, your breath is your lifeline. And so I want you to put your shoulders back, sweetie. And even though it may not feel good right now, whatever you're going through right now, like you're watching this because obviously this is meaningful to you right now, because perhaps this is happening to you. You are under narcissistic attack, or you are the narcissist, right? I'm telling you right now, at some level, every human being has experienced some kind of trauma. And at every level and sometime in your life, you will project your trauma onto somebody else. And you might even blame them. Okay? So once you reach a point of pain, would you say creates change? Right? You've lived your life so long as a narcissist that you're like, oh, fuck, like, I realized, oh, fuck, that was just my wounded child, and I'm just being an asshole because I'm blaming all my parental, the fact that my parents were assholes to me as a child, and now I'm just going to be assholes to everybody else, right? Oh, and that's why I blamed everybody else. That's why I just caused a constant shitstorm everywhere I went. Oh, what was the common denominator?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. It was you, sweetie. Fuck. Oh, that's why they taught us math. Fuck, 1 plus 1 is what? Fuck, 1 minus what? Oh, that's me. That was me. Right? So you one of the best things, okay, besides breath, is you do not engage. You do not have to engage with anybody who is abusing you. Okay? There are some times, unfortunately, that it is unavoidable, right? Like, I have experienced abuse. I'm aware of it, right? So it can be very terrifying, right? And you're like, oh shit, it comes on so fast. It comes on like a fucking buffalo. And all of a sudden you're like doing your thing, and all of a sudden, wham! Something happens and shit goes sideways, right? Were you prepared? No. I'm not saying that in any those times, I'm sorry. Please focus on your breath, because as you hear these words, you might be having a flashback. And I'm sorry. Okay, I get it. Okay? So, but as we take every step, like I am doing, keeping aware and focused where I am in the world, walking on this beautiful path, being extremely aware of what is going on in my surroundings, right? That's a classic skill that people who are abused, they learn these tools, and they come out very, very naturally, right? Which is a gift, but it's not a fucking easy gift to learn, okay? I know that, sweetie. So you need to get yourself in a position of gentle power. When I talk about power, I don't mean you need to be an asshole, okay? Power is gentle, it is focused, it is intentional, right? And so you're taking your power back. So maybe you are a narcissist and you're like, fuck, I don't want to be this anymore. Okay, sweetie, well then you can heal. right? It's just unhealed stuff. But you're like, well, how do I heal this if I don't know how to stop myself from triggering? I don't know how. I do have some tools for you. You know, I'm very skilled, and for the past 20 years have honed my own skills to transform my own childhood trauma. Yeah. So you have to be, in order to change, we have to see the change and acknowledge it and able to transform it, right? So acknowledge it, transform it, and take a breath. Take a breath. Breathing and talk therapy, these are all wonderful things, right? These are all wonderful, wonderful things. I don't believe that there's one tool that is the best. I believe that in a holistic mental health approach, there sometimes you need to talk, sometimes you need to breathe, you know, and, you know, in all cases, like, that's necessary. And also a community, being around a really great community, supportive community, you know, these are all wonderful things. So focus on your breath today as you're, oh, hi, geese. Yeah. I talk to them all the time. You're going to just focus on your breath. Just focus on your breath. Good morning.
Good morning. We're gonna get going. You have a good day.
Focus on your breath. You know, you're washing the dishes, and you know, maybe your spouse is a narcissist, right? Maybe your spouse is, God forbid, very abusive. Maybe you are the abusive one, and something you need to acknowledge, right? And find a way to transform yourself. So today, I just want you to, any time of the day, I just want you to focus on a 4-count breath, relaxing your shoulders. We're going to end with this. We're going to breathe in. Your belly gets big, okay? And anytime you want, you can email me if you want to have a session with me. Just the link is in the bio, okay? The email, the address is in the bio. So breathing in for a 4-count. Your belly gets big like you're pregnant. Good morning. Like you're pregnant. So 1, 2, 3. And exhale for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. And inhale, belly gets big. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, relaxing the shoulders, standing tall, sitting tall. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more time. We're gonna close it out. Breathe in. 1, 2. Keep going. And anytime in your day, just return to breath in those moments where you're feeling unsafe and confused and anxious. Okay? And release. That's it for now. Remember, take care of yourself, and remember to breathe, drink your water, get your exercise, get your vitamin D. You know, as we go along, we're going to learn more tools on how to protect yourself from the narcissist, okay? Narcissistic Ground Control. Thanks for coming. Rewind it. We'll see you next time.